Hi everybody. So first off, sorry if you can hear the rain. It's storming in California right now. Anyway, here's a new sketchbook page. It's pen, it's colored pencils and oil pastels, and I'm going to be showing you how I blend my oil pastels because I get that question a lot. So, yeah, this is in my sketchbook that I got from Five Below, and it kind of sucks, but it's fine. I like to blend oil pastels with paint thinner, so I'll show you that. We'll get to that in a minute. So I first start off with kind of drawing over my pencil sketch with pen, and I've gotten comments on TikTok that are like, this is unnecessary, this ruined it, I don't like this, all that extra. I love it. I will never skip this step. This step is not unnecessary to me. If you've seen any of my like older paintings, you can look it up on Instagram. My watercolor paintings, I always did this, and I still do this, and I don't know, that's just part of my style. I think it's very necessary, so I do this step. Granted, with oil pastels, it does cover up the pen a little bit, I'll give you that. I just start off by doing this. I do a mixture of like cross-hatching, scribbling, anything like that. I like to just put emphasis on kind of like wrinkles under the eyes, the nose, highlights. I like to use little circles. Basically, I have no real method to this. I just like one day I was trying to learn how to shade more with pen, and I saw like not saw but like I remember doing practices like in drawing classes in college, just scribbling contour lines, contour drawing, and I just kind of put that in there. It's everything, and I don't know where this came from. If you see my phone, I'm looking at the reference. I hold my phone right up to the painting sometimes because proportions are hard. I am so sorry. I like listened to that whole clip back and I did not realize how bad my P's were sounding. I'm using Apple headphones on my broken iPad because I have nothing else. I'm very sorry about that, so I'm going to be more conscious about that. Anyway, so here are the oil pastels. I start off just laying down the colors. You'll see in a minute I had to I had to pull out my Pentel pastels. They're not my first choice, but they had more color variety. Because you know when you like mix, you try to mix purple with like a blue and red, and it is not the right shade ever. So I had to pull these out. Sometimes I'll edit my reference photos in the Lightroom app. It's free. You can play with the colors in there and everything. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. This time I didn't. I just kind of went with like a rainbow. Like I just used every single color basically. And like I stated earlier, I like to use paint thinner to blend out my oil pastels. So I'll take the paint thinner, this is the brand that I use, and I'll put it in a little cup, or honestly just in the cap, and I'll use a flat brush and dip it in there. I use a lot. You certainly don't have to use as much as I do because it will bleed. Like you'll be able to see it on white paper because it's going to spread out and it'll leak to the back of the paper. But if you don't care about that, because I don't, I just cover it up with black ink in the end, like the background. So I take a flat brush, dip it in there, and I just blend the colors. I kind of have like a, painterly approach to it. So when I am doing this, and you will see this more when I do the hair in a little bit with oil pastels, I like to go with the sort of shape of the face. So, you know when you're first painting, and this is what I kind of mean by painterly aspect to it, when you first paint, you block in the colors you see and you use shapes. You don't do details, you use shapes. So when I'm blending it out like this, I'm doing the same thing, using that same notion. Use the shape, the contour of the face, of the shadows, and the highlights. So if you have any kind of knowledge on that, really loose, it's like painting with loose brush strokes. S's are hard for me. Painting with loose brush strokes. Gosh. Anyway, I kind of do it kind of messily. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's all I do. But just keep in mind, you can see it on the back of the paper most of the time. And in my experience, this technique works best on paper. I have done oil pastels on wood, but very rarely are they successful for me unless I thin the pastels out a lot with the paint thinner. I'll add more oil pastels to places that need it. So I know that explanation was pretty brief, but there's not really much else to it. I hope that made sense. I can make a longer video if like anybody cares, but honestly, that's really it. I think I figured it out because I was looking it up one day and people were like, oh, use baby oil. And I don't got no baby oil. So I used paint thinner and it worked perfectly fine. Here I'm using my colored pencils. This is something I recently started doing. I love it, especially when I do my paintings on wood with acrylic ink. But I just kind of use them, kind of accentuate, like, I like doing these little wrinkles under the eyes, just adding color, because I was just looking kind of like at my old art, and I was like, I want more texture, I want more color, I want something more. So I've been using these, and I said this in my previous video, but I do not know how to use these, like, in the correct sense. Not saying that you need to follow the rules with art supplies, because I feel like you do and you don't, like it just really depends. But for these, like what I'm trying to say is I can't make something like proper with these. I don't know how to use them that well, so I like it for this. But yeah, it is storming in California right now, and I use the word storm in quotations, but last time we had a storm like this was last year in the spring. It rained like for 3 weeks in March. It was crazy, and now it's raining again. It's gonna rain every day this week. My campus was shut down yesterday. That's how bad it is, which I don't mind because I can't drive in the rain. Like I can drive in, like normal rain, but like rain like this, no, I'm a typical Californian. So then I'll just take like a black colored pencil or the ballpoint pen I was using in the beginning and just kind of go over some areas, darken up some lines. So I'm just using white pastel, add some sort of highlights to it, just more so like dimension to the piece. So here I am doing the hair. Again, same concept. I just kind of fill in everything with the oil pastel, either one color or a few colors, and then I'll go in with my brush with the paint thinner, and I typically like to go in one direction, like I was explaining earlier. For hair, I'll kind of just do whatever, because hair's hard for me. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just kind of going up and down with the brush, making sure everything's kind of cohesive looking in terms of brush strokes, I guess. But that's pretty much kind of all I do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This video is ending soon, so thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, do whatever you gotta do. And thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.